Let's rise. It is Katy Perry. You've been hearing that a lot during the games as we come to you from our family field trip here in Rio. And Katy Perry is on the phone. Hello, Katy.
Good morning, good morning. It's time to rise and shine. Good morning, good morning. I hope you're feeling fine. The sun is up and I don't know the rest of the words. Oh, well.
That's better than the sunshine emoji.
Awesome.
How are you?
How is Rio?
Well, it's great. Actually, it's been fantastic. You know, there have been so many stories back there. And even coming here, we were worried about so many different things that we had heard about and read about.
Sure.
I've noticed really none of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a trend in the news, though. It's just like, how much fear can we install in people?
Yeah, I know. Well, we've really been impressed with all the people and had a good time. And, of course, Rise is all over the OGs, the games, which is kind of cool for you.
Yeah, thank you. Well, I hope it's giving people a little extra pep in their step.
Yes, jumpers are jumping further. Sprinters are going faster. Things are happening in the pool. Flip turns are even better due to this. So that's all good. So, but just a little background on the song. I remember when they were talking about this song being a part of the games. Had you finished it yet? Did you sort of hurry to finish it so it could time up right?
Well, it was like one of the first songs I wrote in the first batch back to making this new record that I'm in the middle of. And it wasn't exactly finished, no, but kind of like this song, you know, the story of the Phoenix, which is something I relate to, that underdog feeling or someone that's down for the count but continually rises up to the occasion. And so that message has always been inside of me and my heart. And I've kind of come to the drawing board wanting to write it. And I have actually written a version of it or two along the way, but it never came out right. And it just came out. And then serendipitously, the NBC Olympics, they were like, we want a song, we want like a theme song. And I was like, well, I mean, I have this thing, and it does feel very, sporty soundtrack, and it just matched. And I thought like it was such an anthem and a nice kind of like amuse-bouche to keep people tied over to when the next one comes out as well.
Look at that savory reference. Not like a gastronomic savory reference when it comes to music.
Well, I'm a big Chef's Table fan, so like I love that stuff.
Mm-hmm. Is that the one on Netflix?
That sure is.
That's the one that's okay. That is such a good one. Now, are you so at the end of a meal? Speaking of which, at the end of a meal, Katy Perry, do you prefer? I think you'd prefer the sweet based on everything that I've seen about you. But do you prefer the sweet or the savory?
No, the sweet is just visual. I'm a salty girl.
Oh, you are?
I mean,
okay.
Yeah, like I'm like I could eat a bag of chips or a basket of fries. That's me. Like I just want that at all times.
I always think that we're blessed to live in a generation where they've combined salt and sweet.
Yeah, the sweet and the salty. That's the way to go.
We are so really like when I think of all the things to be grateful for, I'm super blessed about that.
Yes, caramel salted ice cream is it's one of the great things and wonders of the world. We should feel very grateful for that in our universe.
Yeah, like don't read the news. I think that's the most like thing. That's number one.
I want to come back in just a second and talk about two other things. This footwear, which looks really creative and interesting. And also, you mentioned your new album. I got to ask you a couple questions about that. Katy Perry with us. Be right back. Katy Perry with us. She's with us, but she's not with us because we're here.
Well, I mean, listen, it's so fun. Like, I always talk to you maybe like a couple times a year or once a year. I don't know what it is. I know I see you around. We're like always, in the same spots. But I love coming back to you. You're kind of like a marker for me. Like, we've been doing this. You've been doing this longer than I have, but like I've been doing this for a little long, I guess you would say, compared to like just the way that, everything has changed or is changing. So it's really nice to be back.
That's very sweet. I remember before. So I've been doing it a little bit longer than you.
I remember when she came on your show, like for I Kissed a Girl.
But I remember before that, somebody that you knew that I knew told me that you were going to be the next big thing. Do you remember that?
I don't know. No, I don't remember. No.
Oh, maybe they didn't know you. They didn't know you, but they were telling me about you. And it had nothing to do with, it was nobody in the music business. It was just like somebody that I guess you knew back then that was like, oh, my friend is going to be she's going to be amazing. And then all of a sudden, a year or two later, you become amazing.
Well, I've made a lot of memories along the way, and I think maybe been a little overstimulated and lost some of them. So maybe I do remember, but I don't.
Okay, got it. That's all right. So let's talk about some of the stimulation that's going on now. You've got the new album that you're working on. We were talking about Rise a few minutes ago, but what can you tell us just in terms of like the direction or inspiration or thematics to new music and this album?
Well, I mean, I'm right in the thick of it, and I'm doing a lot of experimenting, and I'm just taking some chances. I think that I feel like I've earned some trust with the listeners, and they're like, yeah, you go try something. You go do something different. We trust you, through all the different variables of whether it's like, waking up in Vegas or E.T. or Dark Horse or, stuff like that that's kind of different, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm just having a lot of fun, but experimenting and trying different producers and different collaborators and different styles. And I'm not like rushing, I'm like,
You're not.
I guess. No, I mean, I'm finding a balance in my life, and I think that's what it's all about, because in the beginning you're holding on for dear life. You're like holding on to a rocket, basically. And then, you just like, you get your footing, and now it's just about finding a balance, like trying to keep my feet on the ground, my head screwed on straight, and not really believe in all the stuff, and tune into the music and like reconnect with the music. I do that every time in between records. I'm just like, I go to Santa Barbara, I ride my bike, I write stories in my head, and then I put them down into music.
So knowing that there's no rush on this, do you think of it in terms of when your fans might hear something? Do you think of it as this year, as next year, as Christmas time? How do you wrap your head around the timing?
Well, I haven't put on a date
deadline
for anyone else to see. I've got some goals. I've got some timelines in my head, but like like you hear about people going, oh, there's like don't take too much time, and I'm like, listen. Let me tell you one thing. Music is all that matters. If the music is good, everybody forgets about the time that you took to make it.
Mm-hmm.
They don't care.
True.
They're not looking at a calendar. They're just like having the greatest time listening to the record. I put 110% into everything I do. And I am confident that if I stay vulnerable and authentic with myself, that the music that comes out of me will continue to connect. But if I just start believing that I am like the best thing since sliced bread, then obviously people are going to be like, we're over you.
Well, plus, and you're balancing the footwear launch that's coming this spring too. So you got that on the plate.
What is the footwear launch? Tell me, what does that mean?
Katy Perry footwear. Hello.
I've always wanted to be a fashion designer and a shoe designer, and I love like lines like Charlotte Olympia. I don't know if you know that line. Or Sophia Webster, and they are women's shoes that are really colorful and very personality and fun, but they're extremely expensive, like because they're so detail oriented. And so I was like, well, I want to be that person that is creating, fun personality shoes that are more affordable. So I've been working on this for a couple of years now, and it doesn't come out till spring 2017, but we had to launch it for all the buyers a couple of days ago in Vegas. There's a long lead for this stuff.
Well, I love it. So that's coming in a while, but we will have music and shoes. Everything's happening soon with Katy Perry. We appreciate. Hey, I'm very happy that we're your marker. Thank you for calling and checking in. I'm glad that we're going to get some new stuff from you, and come back anytime to mark us.
Guys, I will mark you. Thank you, Ryan. Always a pleasure.
Okay, Don. Take care. Bye.